Pt.3 record. 26-20. The Bengals lead here. There's just 6 seconds remaining. They have it fourth down at their own 30-yard line. And a give on to Brooks, and Brooks is tackled and stopped, and the play will be ruled dead right there. So there's 2 seconds left, and Montana will get one throw. There's 2 seconds. Taylor and Clark and Wilson go to the far side, right to the near side. Don't be surprised that he forgets those 3 and goes to right. Here's Montana throwing for the end zone, right place. He got it. Touchdown, 49ers. They win it. Right caught the ball for the touchdown. The 49ers have won it. That's an incredible ball game, my friend.
When all appears lost with no hope of victory, that's when the comeback takes on epic dimensions. Joe Montana and the 49ers have composed many magic moments.
Montana back to throw. Big rush put on. He throws. He completes it underneath to Dwight Clark. He's the 40, the 45. He's the 50. He goes to the 40. It's a foot race. The 30. The 10. The 5. Touchdown, 49ers.
That may be the one play that'll wake up the 49ers.
Back to throw Montana. He's being rushed. Look out. He throws. He has Solomon open at the 5. Breaks the tackle. Goes to the outside. Touchdown, 49ers. Elliott trying to find some room. He does. He goes in for the touchdown. Well, I said at the start of the second half, this was either going to be one of the greatest stories in 49er history or a very terrible football game. It is approaching being one of the great stories. Montana to place the ball down. It is high, placed down. It's kicked. It is long enough. It is good. Ray Wersching with the greatest comeback the 49ers have made as they win it by a score of 38-35.
In the 1970s, Ken Stabler and the Renegade Raiders were aptly named. They were truly raiders of lost causes. Few were as impressive as this matchup against the Super Bowl champion Steelers. Oakland trailed by 2 touchdowns with less than 5 minutes remaining, but rallied to score 17 points to avenge 2 consecutive AFC Championship game defeats. The Saints were the victims of Stabler's greatest role as comeback kid. In a frantic fourth quarter viewed by millions on Monday night television, the Snake uncoiled 3 scoring passes in the final quarter to take the bite out of New Orleans.
Stabler back under heavy rush, gets to Branch to the 42, gets away, dances to the left 30, to the 50, to the 40, to the 30, he's going to go all the way, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown Raiders! And another dazzling, unbelievable play. Stabler back, he's going to pass, looking one way, comes back to the right, throws to Branch on the 2, scrambles. Touchdown Raiders! What an incredible story.
1979 was Stabler's final season in a Raiders uniform. It was also the last year in the NFL for America's resident captain of comeback, Dallas Cowboy quarterback Roger Staubach.
I think the biggest thing about Roger was the fact that he never quit. It didn't matter how much the Cowboys were down. I remember in San Francisco, they were ahead of us 14 or 15 points, and it was 3 minutes to go or something, and they were coming by our bench and hollering obscene things at us and calling us losers.
They laughed at us. They were making fun of us during the game because they were really enjoying having the upper hand on us. They didn't think there was any way because our offense was sputtering. We were doing absolutely nothing. And then Coach Lander decides to put Roger in, and I tell you, it was like a 180-degree turnaround in offense.
It was the most unbelievable comeback because we were totally out of it. There wasn't even a pulse at one time during that game that we were going to win that game. And to turn it around, that's why you had such an emotional situation from our players, because it really was a game that, unless you were just the most unbelievable believer, that you didn't think we were coming back.
Cowboy veterans hadn't seen the likes of this before, and they watched in stunned amazement as Staubach performed his first miracle.
There was bedlam on the sidelines, and it was just total ecstasy. It was great fun. We were rolling around and diving. each other like a bunch of children. One of the great, great high, happy moments in sports. It was the beginning time for the great comebacks that Roger is so well known for throughout his career. When we won that game against San Francisco, from that moment on, we always believed that we could win the ball game.
Staubach answered his final call to glory in his last regular season game.
That was probably the best game that Roger ever played, because the odds were so much against us, even more than it was back in the 49er game. He had to bring our club back against a very fine Redskin team that really had us on the ropes.
And Riggins has a big hole, first down the sideline, 40, 30, he's gone to the 20, the 10, he's still on his feet, touchdown, a 66-yard run by Riggins, and that may be more than the Cowboys can overcome.
I was recording the game with KRLD as a guest broadcaster that day, and in my heart, I believed that the Cowboys were going to win the game. And my announcer, the co-announcer with me, Brad Shim, kept saying, "Hey, Charlie, there's no way. The game's over." But Brad, hey, you got to believe that this team can win. We always believed that if we could just get the ball back to Roger somehow.
Clock is running, 2:38 left in the game. Can it happen again? Can they come back again? Shotgun formation, Staubach looking into the face of a four-man rush, throwing, caught, sprint, go. Touchdown, Rob Springs. 2:20 left in the game. Can they do it again?
You got to believe, Brad.
Woo! A minute one left in the game. This is an all-timer. Cowboys at the Redskin 33. Second down 10. Trailing by 6 points. From the shotgun. Staubach has time. Throws. Caught.
You got to love them. I mean, you got to love the Cowboys. They're the most exciting team in the NFL. They can pull it out.
42 seconds left in the game. Redskins lead by 6. How do you live like this? How can you live like this, doing this every week?
This is what it's all about.
This is a killer. Second down and 8 from the 8-yard line. No shotgun this time. Staubach throwing in the end zone. Cody Hill, touchdown! Cody Hill! The Cowboys have won the East. The Cowboys have come from behind twice, unbelievably.
It was one of those routine Staubach spectaculars. Simply the impossible made it come true. There was none better at that.
23 times in his remarkable career, Roger Staubach had overcome defeat in the final minutes.
When we came out for that game, there was more excitement in the stadium than I ever heard anywhere or felt anywhere. We were playing the Dolphins, and it was going to be big. I'm excited, the team's excited, we're going to get them, and we kick off. You know, the opening kickoff crescendo, you know, like, ooh, whap, we kick the ball. They get the ball, and boom, all the way back. He runs, I think it was Nat Moore, ran it back 100 yards. Now here we were, you know, Black Sunday, Raiders, revenge, Dolphins, get them in Oakland, fans, crazy, team, crazy, good, going to do it. And the opening kickoff in our park, and they run it back all the way.
The game would become a seesaw struggle that stretched and snapped the emotions of all who watched.
Going there now. Here's a deep one to Brad. Deep. He's got it!
Raider fans were caught between delirium and doubt as the Dolphins surged ahead by 5 with 2 minutes remaining. This tense drama cried out for a crashing climax.
When you get in a pressure situation like that, there's no one that you'd rather have involved in that play than Kenny Stabler. He has the uncanny knack of putting a ball between people and between hands and just being able to slip things in there from all different angles, and that's exactly what he did.
Here he is, fading looking. He's under the gun. He's caught. He throws. It is.
He caught it. He caught it.
With 26 seconds to go. What a finish. You'll never see a better game than this one, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you'll agree.
Frankly, it was maybe the greatest football game I have ever seen. It was just incredible.
Pro football evokes a range of passions that often leaves all involved mentally and physically drained. Such was the case in 1981, when the 49ers faced a moment of truth in the NFC Championship against Dallas. It was a moment that will live forever.
So fasten your seatbelts now. We got turbulence and plenty of it here at Candlestick Park now. Everything hangs in the balance now. The season, the outcome of a Super Bowl berth hangs in the balance. Montana rolling out the right, looking toward the end zone, throwing under pressure, throws his pass, caught by Clark. Clark got a touchdown. Clark has it. It's a touchdown for the 49ers.
It became known quite simply as the catch, and it will always burn brightly in the corridors of our memory. Very often, it's the magnitude of the game that brings out the best in its men. 1986's AFC Championship was such a contest.
And the Broncos are 98 yards away from where they need to go.
On this day, with the Super Bowl the prize, John Elway, whose extraordinary abilities had distinguished him early on as the quarterback for all ages, truly came of age.
We walked in knowing that it was a do-or-die situation and that there was nothing else. It either go to the Super Bowl or we're going home, and we got a chance to do it on this drive, and it was just a matter of getting out of where we got some breathing room.
Elway in the end zone and throwing it. It's complete. Winder dives out to the 7-yard line. Elway's drop, runs up in the pocket, running left, John's across the 20 and out to the 26-yard line, has the first down.
Come on, guys. Come on. Stick it to him, baby. Stick it to him.
3 minutes to go. Elway to pass on first down. The pass for Sewell. Got it and keeps it at the 48-yard line, and was he hammered?
Come on, Johnny.
Elway running up in the pocket and sacked at the 48-yard line. And Elway's pass is coming and caught. First down at the Cleveland 27-yard line.
Elway and the Broncos moved down the field as if decreed by some higher order. There was little sense of desperation as number 7 calmly pointed the way to the end zone.
.42 seconds to go. Broncos at the Cleveland 5. Third down and a yard. The snap to Elway. The look, the throw, touchdown. 98.5-yard drive.
Elway's stunning achievement was the impetus for the Broncos' 23-20 overtime victory. But what will always remain fixed in our minds is the drive.
The operator said, very cheery, "Good morning, Mr. Runsell. It's 8 a.m. It's 15 below zero, and there's a 20-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the northwest. Have a pleasant day."
On the coldest New Year's Eve in Green Bay history, they played the 1967 NFL Championship.
I guess one of my most vivid memories of that game is of Bob Hayes, the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, running his pass patterns with his hands in his pants. He put both hands down in the front of his pants, and he would run a pass pattern with his hands still in his pants.
Hayes' world-class speed was not the only thing muffled by the brutal weather conditions.
Meredith was sitting in the huddle, and he gets on one knee and he goes, "Red or right, hang on who?" I said, "That's easy for you to say, Don, but what did you say?" And what was happening was his cheeks were freezing, and he couldn't talk, and his ability to formulate the words was leaving him.
But 8 seconds into the fourth quarter, the frozen lips of Don Meredith formed a bold yet risky call. A halfback option pass from Dan Reeves to Lance Rensel. The pass sliced through the high winds and frigid air to carve out a 17-14 Cowboy lead. But this was Packer weather. Here, men first conquered the elements, then their opponents. In a survival test that called for guts and desire, Green Bay marched 60